a bachelor's degree in computer science.
Hi everybody, this is Andre with Independent Media Association, streaming live from Overland Park, Kansas at the Justice for Darrien Richmond rally, who was one of the protesters arrested under very suspicious circumstances in Overland Park, and the protesters here are speaking for his release, so I'm going to turn the camera around and show you guys what we're here for, or well, what everyone's here for.
Darrien does not deserve to be charged and prosecuted as a felon. Please correct this misunderstanding and help us ensure the reputation Darrien has built for his entire life does not receive unnecessary blemish. Sincerely, a concerned citizen from Johnson County. Darrien is probably one of the nicest people I've ever met. Him and his wife have done so much for all of us. They've always come out. They've always shown support. They don't deserve this. This was so not okay. Not okay. And he deserved to have some mercy. He deserves for his charges to be dropped, or not as a felon. He does not deserve that. Please go onto our organization's sites and sign this petition. We also have a paper that we'll be handing around for you guys to sign as well. If you're interested, we would really appreciate it. I know Darrien and Marissa would really appreciate it too. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, that was all. So next, we are going to hear from none other than herself, Miss Marissa Richmond. Would you please come up and grace us with your presence?
Hey guys. I'm going to read this off my phone because I literally just finished it this morning, so I apologize if it's not the best. Eyes are happening. I stand before you today, not for myself, but in the place of someone incredibly special to me, my husband, Darrien Richmond. I want to start off tonight just by talking a little bit about who Darrien is. Asked him, he would probably tell you the story of who he is today is a story that began long before he was born, with those who paved the way before him. He would tell you about people like his grandma Richmond, who used to pick cotton until her fingers bled so that his father could afford a football jersey, a jersey which would earn him a scholarship to a college. He would tell you about his mother, who dedicated her life to teaching students in underfunded districts and enrolled him in the summer video game program that first sparked his interest in writing code. He would tell you about his father, who worked as a deacon at the church and ensured Darrien was raised to know who God was. Darrien is who he is because of a long line of love that came before him. He has worked hard his whole life to build upon that groundwork his family laid for him. He finished high school with over a 4.0 GPA. He graduated from the Georgia Institute of Technology with a bachelor's degree in computer science. His performance at work was recognized as being in the top 3% of his company within the first 2 years of working. From the time Darrien was born, his family spoke greatness into him, and Darrien did not disappoint. I met Darrien when we were just both sophomores in Mr. Papp's high school English class. However, we didn't start dating until the night of our senior prom. At first, I really wasn't that interested in dating anyone, but guys, you should have seen him in that tuxedo. From the moment we started dating, Darrien has always put my needs above his own. That's just who he is. We started our relationship and were almost immediately long distance. Now, you gotta believe me when I tell you, I was an emotional wreck. I had to be around this guy like 24/7. And I can't even tell you how many hours of Criminal Minds he probably watched with me over Skype, or how many nights he let me sleep with a video call on. When Darrien graduated from college, he could have gone anywhere in the country and made more money than he made here, but he came back to Kansas because I still had to finish school. And I probably asked this man at least twice a day when he was going to propose to me, starting the second he got back, too. I wasn't playing. In fact, I was so persistent that he had to take me out on multiple dates to fancy restaurants just so he could even attempt to surprise me. To put it in perspective, Darrien proposed to me on September 3rd, 2016, and we were married by November 19th of the same year. Yeah. The day I married Darrien was the happiest day of my life. July 24th, 2020, on the other hand, was probably the worst. Darrien and I left the house that night expecting another peaceful march in Overland Park. And let me tell you, what happened that night was absolutely terrifying. Police were on the streets with riot gear within just 5 minutes of the moment the first foot hit the sidewalk. When it became clear that we were grossly outnumbered, Darrien and I formed a shield to help a woman and her children get into a car to move to safety. We explained to the officers that we would get to the sidewalk as soon as the children and their mother were safely inside of the car. However, that wasn't fast enough for the Overland Park Police Department, because as we were getting onto the sidewalk, I felt myself being ripped back into the street. I was thrown into a police car, snatched up and flung across the hood. 4 officers surrounded me and began pulling my arms so far behind my back that pain shot through them. I started to have a panic attack. Full disclosure, and without going into too many details, I'm a survivor of sexual assault. So to be in that kind of situation, a situation where I had no control over my body or what happened to it, it took me right back to that feeling many women know all too well. That's what Darrien saw in my eyes as I started to cry. That's what he heard in my voice when I called out for him. It is that primal fear that drove him to run to my side. But that's all it took. Less than 3 seconds for the Overland Park Police Department to reduce an upstanding black man, a Georgia Tech graduate, a software engineer, to a potential felon. Yeah, it ain't right. That's the country we live in. A country where a white man who is caught in the act of raping an unconscious woman behind a dumpster is given 6 months, but a black boy whose only crime is shoplifting a pair of sneakers is given 15 years. A country where a white gunman who shoots up a church is taken in peacefully, but a black man is violently murdered over a suspected counterfeit $20 bill. A country where a white child dies and the offender is detained in less than 24 hours, but a black woman who is shot in her sleep is still awaiting justice. That ain't right. That ain't right. For weeks now, I've done my best to bite my tongue, both in public and on social media. But I am sick and tired of pandering to this country's white fragility. I'm sorry, but America doesn't get to continue dredging up these tired old tropes about black men as absent fathers, black men as deadbeat husbands, black men as felons. Not anymore. What happened to Darrien is irrefutable proof that it doesn't matter how a black man looks. It doesn't matter how he acts. It doesn't matter how hard he works. Black men are targeted in this country for no crime other than the color of their skin. America is terrified of black men. And why is that? Because this country doesn't just profit, it thrives off of racial division. It has spent decades pushing black men down to protect the fragile power of those at the top. Because they know black men are strong. Black men are providers. Black men are enduring. Black men are fathers, brothers, sons, husbands. Black men are important. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marissa.
She's so powerful, man. That's wild. All right. So I am under no guise that these earrings and that weave in my hair gives me some privilege sometimes when it comes to police interactions. And that the day those are off, well, it's a different story. That being said, though, I do not understand the exact struggles of what it's like being a black man in this country. I can't imagine it, but there is somebody who very well can, and I'd like to introduce him now, Mr. John, if you would like to come up and teach us about men versus the system in this country. Come on up.
You know, we all came out here today not only because Black Lives Matter, but because the injustice we seen happen to Darrien. You know, for me, as a black man in America, to see what Johnson County, the Overland Park, trumped up charges against him and put a felony on his record, it hit so close to home with me. You know why? Because back in 2009, it happened to me. I had a clean record, never been in trouble. But I was charged with 3 felonies, and convicted, and sentenced to 11 years and 10 months in the Kansas Department of Correction. Knowing I didn't actually do the crime that happened, I could just see the hardness it takes for any black man to try to come back from this. I've been home now about 11 months. Been working constantly to try to find my way back into society. Try to find my way to be productive, to show them that I'm not this animal, this person that they paid me out to be over 10 years ago. Now, if I got to stand up and start to speak the truth for my brothers or anybody that was born with the color of our skin, it's not by choice. It wasn't my choice to be born this color, with my skin, this complexion. God has blessed me with this. I say it's a blessing. But on that night of the 24th, man, just watching it, it boiled up so much in me. Not of hate, or none of that. But just seeing the injustice. Seeing how the police do things. See how, because what I saw them do to Stacy, Marissa, Darrien, and Cartia, Darrien, my bad. What I seen happen that night is the same thing that happened inside the prison systems. Inside of the prison, if they don't get their way, they're going to do the same.
Oh, God. Wow.
In order to... But to see it happen in the prison system, I'm like, man, when is this stuff going to change? When is it? I'm tired of being a black man keep getting oppressed for not doing anything. And when I see a brother that is and have worked their whole life to strive and do better, it's not right to put no felony charge on them. That stuff ain't right at all. I'm still fighting to get mine off, but I got a lot of work to do. I ain't worried about it. I'll take mine as a strike and to keep forwarding this movement. And I want everybody to know, when we talk about black lives, it got nothing to do with sexuality. It got nothing to do with all this political things out here. When we talk about black lives, we talking about the substance that we was born with. We talking that we are important as a person. Nothing this political stuff that has put out here. And now they want to label us as terrorists. They're afraid of us. Why y'all afraid of us? Let me tell you what a terrorist is. Someone who terrorizes the masses. But I'm going to tell you something about me. When I'm driving in my car and that police get behind me, I'm going to tell you how my heart start beating. I'm going to tell you how I'm nervous. I'm going to tell you how I'm ready to get my phone out and text my kids and say, I love y'all, nothing happened to me. And who come to my door? Who want to come to the door? The police. They the one who terrified me, so who the real terrorists? None of us should feel like the police is the terrorists in our lives. None of us. Including Darrien or anybody else, the hundreds and millions of other people of color in our nation and around the world, to be honest. Because it just don't start here. It's everywhere. It's been like this. We've been fighting for just a seat at the table so we can speak on our own behalf. Not have nobody else speak for us, but to speak for ourselves. When can we speak for ourselves and quit having other people try to speak for us? If you never walked in my footsteps, You can't come up here and say, this is what Black Lives is. If you haven't been through this process, don't tell me you know what Black Lives is, y'all. And we need more so-called black people to come out here, because this is our movement. This is us to let them know that our lives do matter. And I'm going to keep it going, y'all. I am. It hurts once I start doing my research, because I had to get in the books. Because I wouldn't have known a lot of this stuff. I wouldn't have known the legality of it all. Knowing that they legally could do this to us. Not knowing that it's in law. Well before the Jim Crow. Well before the Dred Scott case. Well before all this. When we was put all the way down to 3/5 as a human being. Of a person. If that ain't right, y'all, what is the other 2/5 that make us a person? What was taken from us that degraded us so low to the scums of the earth? Now, when we finally trying to get something to make us live, come up, and understand that, you know what, I'm better than what has put out here in our communities. I'm better than these gang violence. I'm better than all these selling dope and selling drugs out here. I'm better than that. But guess what? I still got to go to somebody else to empower me. I can't even empower myself. I still got to go to my oppressor and ask for a job. Please give me this. When are y'all really going to help us? And what was happening to Darrien, I don't want to take this away from Darrien. This is a brother that strived his whole life for his reputation. And when I look at him, I see the better me. And this is why I'm behind him. And this is why I'm here. I'm telling y'all, my heart cries out. It cries out because I've seen all this pain. I've seen the mothers. I seen them cry. My stepmother was shot. My stepbrother was shot by the police and killed while I was locked up. So guess what? I understand this. I understand the injustice on all levels. But we gotta quit saying we understand somebody without actually getting in their shoes or something. Quit trying to say, this is what this is, y'all. They just doing this, they could do better. Guess what? We knew better, we'd do better. We only doing what was put in front of us. Y'all want to keep funding the police? When I say defund the police, y'all, I want to defund them, but not just say there is no office, because guess what? We need it. It's good to have protection. But what I'm saying is, let's call them when we need y'all. When we pick up our phones and we count 911, now we need you to come to our assistance. If we do not dial the number, we don't need y'all patrolling our streets, y'all. This is not that time no more. We understand it. We can start governing our own. We need to start being more of a community. Start being more of reaching out to our neighbors. Just say, hey, neighbor, how you doing? What y'all got something to eat tonight? So let them know we ain't here to fight y'all. We ain't never been to be oppression on y'all. Not at all. We are here to show love at the most genuine level. The one who could get spit on, slapped, and beat, lied on, and killed, and still say, I love you, my brother. Where do we find that type of love at nowadays? Without judging about nothing they do or what they look like. I try my best for everybody I come in contact with to show love. Not to say, this person is, they believe in that. No, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, I don't care what you are. If you got love, I'm with you. When you try to put up hate, I'm not with that, y'all. I'm not with hate. I'm not with any of that. But this is a time for action, not only for us to come against the Overland Park, but for us as a nation to finally come together and demand change for all of us. Because guess what? Each and every one of us, we don't know their story. I don't know my brothers and sisters, brown people of color, what they going through. I don't even know some of my white brothers and sisters, what they going through. So for me to say they wrong, I can't even say that because I don't even know what they going through at home. until we start to reach out and really do social interaction and understand and get to the source of this problem, we will always look at somebody like we better than them, when none of us is better than nobody. When I see everybody out here, it brings joy, because guess what? It's people of every nationalities and backgrounds. And I love that. And that's what it should be like. But black lives do matter, y'all. And there's been a misconstrued of what Black Lives Matter is within the church and everything. I hate to bring religion in there. A lot of the church, where y'all at? Where y'all at? How many times I've been down on my knees asking God, where are you at? How many times have I been to my church praising Jesus, praising God, praising all of it? Where you at? Where y'all at? We out here saying we want y'all. But this, once again, is for Darrien. I love you, brother. Keep your head up. We here for you.
Woo. Let me just make y'all want to stand in front of the police. All right. So the next speaker I'm going to be introducing is Mr. Ray from Black Rainbow is going to share some words with us. If you want to come on over and talk to us, tell us what's going on.
When I say Ashe, I need everybody to say power. Ashe! Power! Ashe! Power! Ashe! Power! Ashe! Power! I need everybody to say, I am a revolutionary. 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 So I can't express how incredibly important this moment is that we are in right now. I didn't write too many words for tonight. I'm gonna keep this pretty short. But this is a moment of reckoning for the city of Overland Park and its viciously white supremacist history and culture. The reason we gather here today is because that violent ideology has once again manifested itself, resulting in the kidnapping, the brutalization, the psychic violence that has been imposed on our brother Darrien. Not only did they abuse our brother in all these ways, now they're lying on him. We know the police lie. In fact, as a black man, I've come to expect for the police to lie far more than I expect for them to tell the truth. We can never forget that the condition of truth is allowing suffering to speak. The condition of truth is allowing suffering to speak. And so until our people, until black people are allowed to speak our truth, for our suffering to be reported on the way that it needs to be reported on, then this racist system will never be resolved. As a people, we have to be heard and acknowledged. Our demands need to be acted on in order for this city, this state, and for the country to rid itself of the poisonous, toxic, psychological, sociological cancer that is white supremacist terrorism. The police are white supremacist terrorists, as my brother just said. It's a white supremacist terroristic system that we have to get rid of. We have to defund it. Something that me and my sister, Stacy, talk about as well is that the police are a weaponized, militaristic enforcement arm of the white supremacist state. I'm going to say that one more time. The police are the weaponized, militaristic enforcement arm of the white supremacist state. But we will never be intimidated by them. Are y'all afraid of the police? No. Are y'all afraid of the police? No. Are y'all afraid of the police? No. I just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to make sure. Tonight we fight for Darrien. a beautiful and courageous black soul who put his life on the line, his body on the line for our people. Darrien is a hero. And tonight we're going to put our bodies on the line to let him know that his sacrifice was not in vain. All of Darrien's charges must be dropped. All of Darrien's charges must be dropped. We want real justice. Defund the police. I need y'all a little bit louder on that one. Defund the police. Defund the police. Defunding the police is the only way that we can ensure that a tragedy like this never happens again. We can't keep giving money to the police for body cams. We can't keep giving money to the police for more training. The police have existed for 100 years, over 100 years. They started off with slave patrol. That's why they have no problem brutalizing a black brother, treating him like an animal, and then lying on him. We can't expect justice from a system that is willing to do that. We can never expect justice from a system that originated from slave patrol, that originated from the exploitation and brutalization of black bodies, that is more concerned with property and police than it is the livelihood of black people. So I only have a couple more words that I want to say. As I said at the beginning, this is a moment of crisis that we are in. This is a monumental moment. We've been at this for an entire summer now.
Yeah.
For some people, this is your first protest. For some people, this summer was the first time that they've ever been awakened to anti-racism, awakened to the resistance, and we can't stop now. So I appreciate everybody that came out here, that's willing to put your bodies and lives on the line, because this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. We got to let Darrien know that this is just the beginning. We're going to let our community know that this is just the beginning. That's all I got to say. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that organized this. And thank you all.
Ooh, every time you say ashe, I feel it, you know? All right. Okay, so the next part, y'all already know who's coming up here. I don't even know if you've been watching live streams, if you have even heard of a protest, then you are familiar with our next speaker. She is a revolutionary. Okay, that's plain and simple. And she has been so kind as to teach us discipline and to guide us through these difficult times, personally and legally. And I'm so grateful to call her a comrade. Miss Stacy Shaw!
Peace and blessings upon you. I'm going to say just a few words, but today we have an opportunity that we have not had at a Black Lives Matter protest in the Jackson County, Johnson County, Wyandotte County, Douglas County, at any protest. This is my 33rd one. I have never seen or heard this voice before. Many people don't know that the Black Lives Matter movement in itself is revolutionary, because it centers the voices of the most jeopardized, marginalized, discounted among us. And so there was a courageous person that came up to me, and they introduced themselves as Andy. And Andy, whose pronouns are they, them, because they had the courage to come up to me and say, I'm one of your clients. I am different. I go by Nix. And I had never heard of the proper greeting or the honorary title of MX before. And I said, because I have pledged myself to change, to revolutionizing not only the way that I think, but the way that I act, the way that I show up for people who are different than I am, who have different lived experiences. Because you educated me today, you are changing my entire system at my law firm. So if you call my law firm, and you say, I want to be a client, someone should ask you, what are your pronouns? One voice, one person can change the destiny of America. I was talking to some women in a focus group, and they said, Stacy, you should not put it all on the line, because if you lose your law license, you may lose your credibility, you may lose your voice, and the same people that were marching behind you, you will become a footnote. And I told them, you do not understand what makes me powerful. Because if a law license made me powerful in this movement, then it would negate the power that is in each and every single one of you that shows up to these direct actions. If I got up here and said that the only reason why I have a voice is because I have a law license in 2 states, that would mean that you could not use your individual power to change the destiny of America. And that would be a lie. Because I've heard people on social media, I've heard people out in the streets saying that you have to have a certain certification, that you have to have a certain level of training, that you've got to be a certain somebody, that you have to resist for a certain amount of time, that you have to read the right books, that you have to know the right people, but they do not know what power each of us have today. Because you do not need to be certified to be a revolutionary. You don't need a certification to be an activist. No one asked you for a resume when you show up. No one asked you for a cool kid card. No one says that you have to wear certain clothes or certain shoes, that you gotta work in a certain sector, that you gotta look a certain way, that you gotta love a certain person, that you gotta have a certain career, a certain educational credential. Nobody asks you nothing when you show up, but are you ready to put it on the line? And so many of you are my heroes. I have mentors that are over 10 years younger than me. I have heroes that are 8 years old. I have heroes who are 19 years old that can stay in custody without breaking for 20 hours without being afforded a phone call. And when they come out, the first thing that they said was, they could not break me. We are the future that America has been praying for. We are the change that America has been waiting for. We are the promise that our ancestors died for. Our names, our stories, they will be remembered when people look back and say, what happened in 2020 when a group of people stood up when it was not popular, when it was dangerous, when people called them radical, when people called them terrorists. Our stories will be in history. trans voice that we have heard in this movement in Kansas City. Nick Sandy? Did I say it right? Okay. And so it is my deep privilege and honor to yield the rest of my time to you, because your voice is the voice that we've been waiting for. Your voice is the voice of this movement. Your voice is the reason why we are out in the heat, why we are risking arrest, why we are risking injury. It's for your voice.
Hello. I'm not going to use this platform to speak for all trans people, but if you can agree and relate, you can relate. It's really scary to come out to all these and present however I want to present and let the world see me and my truth and me and my friends and my truth. And it's scary to know if when I get here, someone's not going to like that and want to hurt one of us. I don't know if y'all know that last year, Brianna B.B. Hill was beaten by officers in Star Beauty, outside of Star Beauty, and that ain't right.
That ain't right.
And later on, she ended up dead because someone else actually took her life. So things like that are the reasons that a lot of people don't want to come out, and I really wish that I could see more queer Black people out here. But until we have a guarantee that the same wall that goes around protesters at protests is going to go around them when they're in their day-to-day life, are we really going to leave? It's not safe. And along with that, I would like to address the amount of cis Black men that murder trans women every day. And it doesn't derail from the movement at all. It doesn't say that Black men are bad. It just says that that's something that we have to work on within our community, because it's been too many years. It's been way too many years. I think that the same things that we're doing for bail support, we need to be doing with name changes. It's really scary to get arrested as a queer person. I was arrested down at the plaza. I don't go by my birth name. When I was going out, I'd write my birth name on my body just in case I was found. That doesn't add up. It's not right. The amount of trans women that are put in men's prisons is not right. We need to work on getting their, I can't even say their gender markers changed, because honestly, we need to work on just getting gender markers off of IDs completely, because it's scary for anyone to know. Trans. So, name changing clinics would be really helpful, because it's a hard process for everyone. And we need more protection. And that's really all I have to say.
Okay, so at every single protest, you have started seeing, and if anybody is going live, this is part of the training that we're undergoing, because a lot of people don't realize they're in a resistance. This isn't just a protest. There are many ways of resisting. And to be in resistance long term, we've got to be disciplined. Okay? We have to be trained. And some people are asking, you know what, are we going to make this public? But when you come to a protest, we do training on the ground. Okay? So there are going to be flag bearers, 2 flag bearers. I've got one of my flag bearers right here. Come on. Okay, so we're going to go over hand signals. Now, these hand signals are going to be used for marches. They are going to be used every time you go to a protest, every time you go to a march, any resistance movement, you will have the same hand signals. So it's very important to learn them. they will always mean the same thing. So the first thing that I'm going to go over with you is stop. Okay? Stop is like you're knocking on a door. Okay? It's not black power. It is knocking on the door. Nope, knocking on the door with the little sausage right here. Yes, turn to the side. Banging on the door. Banging on the door. Okay, this is stop. Everybody hold their hands up. Say stop. Stop. No. Okay, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is very important that it's to the side, because this is how we get separated. We're going to be tight, especially tonight. We're going to be tight. So stop. Stop. Bang on the door. Bang on the door. Okay, bang on the door sideways. If you see somebody not doing it correctly, gently correct them. Okay, this is stop. Stop. Right here. Okay, fists to the side. Wall. We have our courageous wall of moms. This is a W. Wall of moms. Wall of moms reports when we have police lined up against us. Okay? And so if you see the W, wall of moms, report to the front where you see the police lined up. You'll know who they are because they have on riot gear. Okay, so W, wall of moms. Okay, we also have official witnesses. Official witnesses are not a part of the protest. They are wearing the bright neon green vests. They are not a part of the protest. Only speak to them if you are getting arrested and give them your name and date of birth. They are working under the supervision of Attorney Jordan Bear. Jordan Bear, please raise your hand. Okay, Jordan Bear from Liberty Lawyers KC. Yes, Liberty Lawyers KC is a new organization that Jordan helped co-found with me and a lot of other courageous lawyers. Every single protest or action will be with a supervised attorney. And so they may be here or they may be on call, but their names will be announced. If you get arrested, who do you want to speak to immediately? Okay, you want to speak to Jordan Bear. Say his name. Jordan Bear. Say his name. Jordan Bear. Jordan Bear. Say his name. Jordan Bear. Say his name. Jordan Bear. Say his name. Jordan Bear. This is important. To activate your Sixth Amendment right to counsel, you have to ask for your lawyer. And the police don't want to give you a lawyer. So you have to ask for him by name because he's going to be calling for you. Okay? So if you get arrested, who do you call? Jordan Bear. Who do you want? Jordan Bear. Okay, you want your lawyer. I'm not talking to you. I want my lawyer right now. You are guaranteed an attorney. If you are under a 24-hour investigation, you are guaranteed an attorney, and we are going to be looking for you. Okay? Super important. So Jordan Bear is the attorney on call. Every time we have the wall of moms, we have this W. What does this mean?
Wall of moms.
Wall. Because we're going to have additional walls. There may be a wall of veterans, wall of moms, wall of dads, wall of whoever we can get. But when you see this W, the wall goes up, okay? And every time there's a wall, there's a witness. So the official witnesses will be reporting to the wall, okay? Now, last thing I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you two more things, actually. This is slow down. It goes 90 degrees, 45 degrees, or 180. This is slow down, okay? It's going to be important that we all stick together. We're going to be marching on the sidewalk at first, okay? But slow down. When you see this, slow down. I want everybody to do it with me. Slow down. Okay? Because that's going to mean the people in front need to slow down to allow the people in the back to catch up with them. Okay, so we're going to go over this again. Say it out. Say it out. It's important. Okay, stop. 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 This is important. Whatever you're doing, stop right then. Okay? What does this mean? Wall. Okay, wall. Wall. Very good, wall. All right. What does this mean? Okay, I want everybody to get some muscle memory with me. This is very important. This is, every time we go out in the streets, it is not 100% safe. Okay, so we need to be disciplined. It's very important. Okay, everybody do this with me. What does this mean? Okay, what does this mean? What does this mean? Okay, good. Good. That does not mean stop. Good job. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, what does this mean? Okay, very good. Make sure it's not 3 like this. It is very spread out as much as you can to make a W. Okay, now there's one other command that I'm going to teach you. And it's here. This is eyes. Look at me. Look at me. This is eyes. This means that what I am telling you, what somebody is telling you, is very important and you need to pay attention. Eyes. What does this mean? Look at me. Look at me right here. So if I'm going to come up to you and I say this, I need you to stop talking. I need you to immediately listen to what I have to say. That's why I'm going to do eyes, okay? And so this is only if it's super important. I'm going to do this. Look at me. Look at me. Okay. Now, you may see, look at this. Shout out to Gloria. Shout out to Gloria that helped me make these. Okay, and so we're not going to be relying on just verbal commands anymore. All right, so if you've been at previous protests, and these are going to be the same meaning every time you go to an action in Kansas or Missouri, okay? And so red means stop. When you see this, what are you going to do? Stop. Exactly, just in case you didn't see the fist. The next one is blue. What does this mean? This is wall. Okay. So wall. That means that we've already put up this W. Our color guards are going to do blue. Blue is wall. What is blue? Wall. What is red? Stop. Okay. 2 more colors. Yellow. It's slow down. Okay? Slow down, slow down, slow down. Okay, so if you see yellow, what does that mean?
Slow down.
Okay, last color. And this is going to be important. Okay? White means that we've changed to tactical. Okay? And this is very important. If you were here, I've been arrested twice. I've been maced twice. I've been tear gassed. The police are dangerous people. Okay? And so when you see white, we're not going to go over tactical commands today, but when you see white, the meaning of the flags change. Okay? We're not going to occupy, we're not going to hold a line today. But but every time you come to a protest, we are going to train you exactly what you need to do. And so when you see white, okay, what does white mean? We've switched to tactical. Okay, so if it's white, that means we'll switch to tactical. If you are an at-risk person, okay, if you're a medic, the official witnesses should already be in position by the time they see the white flag. But if you are a person that has 0 ability to go to jail, that means you immediately get on the sidewalk. That means that you immediately start going to your car in groups of at least 3. Groups of at least 3. Groups of at least 3. That is very important. When you see the white flag, you get on the sidewalk immediately. All right? And so there's one last thing. Chants mean something. Okay? We're going to practice one chant. You guys know it. Hands up.
Don't shoot.
Hands up.
Don't shoot.
Hands up.
Don't shoot.
Hands up.
Don't shoot.
Now, when we do this chant, 100% of us need to have our hands up. Okay? You cannot have your hands down. If someone starts that chant leaders know we do not start that chant for no reason. We only start that chant if there is police presence to show that we are unarmed. Okay? That is very important. We're going to practice that. And as soon as the chant changes, put your hands down. Okay? Hands up.
Don't shoot.
Hands up.
Don't shoot.
Hands up.
Don't shoot.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Okay, as soon as it changes, put your hands down immediately. Okay? We're going to try that one more time. Hands up.
Don't shoot.
Hands up.
Don't shoot.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Good job. You guys did such a wonderful job. We're going to practice the colors one more time. Show me red. What does that mean? What does red mean?
Stop.
Okay. What does yellow mean?
Slow down.
Slow down. Okay, what does blue mean? Wall. Very good. What does white mean?
Tactical.
Tactical. Okay, so once we go to tactical, that's going to be another set of commands, but I don't want to overwhelm you today. Every single time you come to protest, you will hear political education. leaders and speakers are very well studied. Most of what people do is read. We constantly read. We constantly read and study so that when we come into what we call the pulpit, we are giving you education. We are advancing your understanding of why we are out here. Okay, so now, last thing. Every single protest, you will have political education. You will have tactical training. You all just went through tactical training. Who feels like a soldier? Oh, no, hell no. Hell no. Okay, let me try that again. Who feels like a warrior? Okay, I'm going to take it. Y'all tired. Okay, so you know what? Okay, so last thing, we have demands. We have demands on every live stream. We have demands on how people can get involved. So we're going to go over those because we're not out here just sweating for no reason. Do we have the full demands? Could you come and we can read the demands? Rachel? Okay, yes. So we have 4 demands. First demand is we want transparency and accountability to be put on the docket at the city council meeting. Okay? And I'm turning my back to you just so I'm not advertising who y'all are, even though you're fabulous. And that's another thing, as I'm doing this, we need to make sure that we have, is anyone on my live? Can someone go on my live for me? Okay. And so the first one is we want transparency and accountability put on the city council agenda. The second one, release the names of the officers that were involved in the July 24th arrest in Overland Park. And number 3, our final demand is that they implement an ordinance requiring officers to identify themselves at all times when interacting with the public. Okay? So 3 demands. 1, place transparency and accountability on the city council agenda. Number 2, implement an ordinance requiring officers number 2 is identify the officers who were at the July 24th protest. Number 3, implement an ordinance requiring officers to identify themselves at all times when interacting with the public. That is why we are here today. We will march and we will continue resisting until those demands are met. All power to the people!
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 All the power to the people!
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 Many people don't know that the definition of democracy is a form of government where supreme power is vested in the people. Supreme power in the democratic America is vested in the people. It's not vested in the mayor. It's not vested in the police. It's not vested in the governor. It's not vested in the president. The power is vested in the people. Power to the people.
Power to the people!
Okay, we're gonna get this march started. Who's a marshal?
Okay, so I just want to thank you all for attending the rally. Let's remember that this rally was for justice for Darrien. We want to continue to demand for fair justice for Darrien and does not deserve a felony charge. And remember to continue to reach out to your city officials, sending emails to your to the district attorney Steve Howe, demanding that the charges of Darrien Richmond be dropped. We're going to go ahead and gather towards this direction so that we can go on for our march. And follow me.
You. You.
I'm sorry, one last thing. We just want to explain the streaming. And Jay's going to explain
Okay, so the Coalition of Organizers in Kansas City has put together an official live stream on Twitch. We have determined that that is the safest way to live stream. Anyone who is live streaming from this Twitch is not an official member of the media. They are just there to record, especially if anything goes south. So they will also be showing up, and tonight it's me, but other nights it might be someone else. Just look out for them. They will be reporting with the roll of homes and official witnesses to record anything that happens tonight, any interactions with police and protesters. If you would like to share it, which please do, because we want a lot of eyes on this live stream, it's on Twitch at KC_protests with an S at the end. Again, that's KC_protests, PROTEST. I think I spelled it wrong. S, yeah, something like that. But yeah, also if you are live streaming, please, yeah, here.
Capital KC.
Oh, it is, I don't know, I don't think the capital matters. But if you are live streaming tonight, please do your best to not get protester faces in your video. The only time it would be appropriate to put someone's face in a video is if they get up here to speak or if they are a police officer. So just make sure that if you do see something happening, make sure that it gets on camera. And again, we please encourage you to go on Twitch and share that live stream to Facebook, share it to Instagram, share it to every social media platform you got. KC_protests with an S. Thank you.
Okay, guys, just kind of cutting into that a little bit for anyone that's just tuning in and joining. The rally part of the protest has wrapped up. They had speakers, they had a little bit of instruction on what's happening and how to go, and you guys can see the earlier parts in there. They have their own media streams, which honestly I encourage people to follow it because we need more eyes on this overall. So right now they are beginning to march, and I'm going to follow the march alongside them as press, so I'm not going to be interacting, but I will be up front close with them. So you guys keep tuned. Actually, guys, as the march starts, I'm going to actually speak to someone who the march is very close to, the wife of Darrien Richmond, who was one of the protesters who was questionably arrested in a previous event. So I'm going to cut to her so she can explain what this is, the meaning behind it, besides the Black Lives Matter movement, obviously. So here you go. Sorry, let me cut the camera. There you are. Go ahead, you're live. You can introduce yourself and tell us why you're here and what it means.
My name's Marissa Richmond, and I'm Darrien's wife. And I'm out here because, you know, what happened is just absolutely absurd. You can see from the poster that I've made, you know, there's so much more to my husband than what happened that night. And, you know, what's happening to him, it's trying to reduce him down to, you know, a felon of all things when, you know, he's a graduate, he's a husband, he's a big brother, he's a loving son. He's, you know, so many things. He's an entrepreneur, an engineer. So that's why I came out here, is I wanted to make sure that the community knows who he is and who it is that they're talking about. Because so many people, you know, want to talk about what happened as if they were there, as if they know who he is, and they don't. So.
Okay, thank you. So there you guys go. And if anyone needs a little bit of a recap, I posted a little bit of the footage that I had that recaps what happened that night. And honestly, it's worth researching to see, again, to see the meaning behind this. So I'm going to cut back to what's happening.
That's unfortunate if Johnson County thinks that it is angering to them, alarming to them for us to say Black Lives Matter. Okay, so we're going to unlawful assembly, remaining at a lawful assembly, riot, resisting arrest. If you are arrested for civil disobedience today, the most important thing that
May I please have your name and badge number? Or are you not giving
Resisting arrest. Do not resist arrest. Do not resist arrest.
E1 and you're Mr. Fitzgerald? And D2?
I'm 182 pounds today.
And are you going to provide
And
your
I
name or
ate
no?
really good before I came out. Okay? So we're not resisting arrest, but that doesn't mean that we have to help you either. Okay? From the 60s, you remember seeing the old videos where they were tearing people out, they had to say, all 182 pounds.
We just want to make sure you don't do this at any other place. We just want to get ahead of the game. This is not having anybody get onto the street. Sidewalks fine, streets are different. So we're going to take the streets in the neighborhood.
Do not tell someone to stop it. You get in the handcuffs.
What did he tell you?
And you let it go. We will come get you.
That was an interaction between some police officers here and one of the protesters. So there you go for that one. Just a little bit of background.
Are your first and last name and date of birth to our witnesses? And say his name. Say his name.
Darrien!
Okay. So, pedestrians on highways, I'm not going on any damn highway today. Y'all going by yourself. And criminal trespass on public property. They would have to declare as trespassers on public property. And let's read that. A criminal trespass on public property is entering or remaining upon any land, structure, vehicle, aircraft, including not limited to city, school district, county, by any person who reasonably should know that he is not authorized or privileged to do so.
So if they don't want you there, it's illegal?
Exactly. So, but on any land. And
They
so,
said if
I don't
you're black
understand
in
how they would
Johnson
make
County,
that stick,
it's
but you know what,
illegal.
let's just see what happens. We're gonna,
Yeah,
we
it
are
is.
going to start the march. It's important. Until you have other instructions, we are staying on the sidewalk. Okay, let's practice this color guard. Let's practice the color guard. Red.
Stop!
Okay. Yes. Blue. Wow, they've already come out to say what's up. We already know what's going on. Okay. Yellow. Slow down. Okay, great. Thank you. Marshall, take it away. Okay, so the first time that we say it, we're going to say, what do we want? Transparency. What do we want? Accountability. Okay? So, what do we want? Transparency. What do we want? Accountability. What do we want? Transparency. What do we want? Accountability. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. 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 What do we want? Transparency. What do we want? Accountability. What do we want? Transparency. What do we want? Accountability. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. 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 Our next chant. We want police IDs.
We want police IDs!
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 Black lives matter.
Black lives matter!
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter!
Black lives matter.
Black lives matter!
police ID! We want police ID! We want police ID! We want police ID! Black Lives Matter! 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 What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Accountability! What do we want? Transparency! What do we want? Accountability! When do we want it? Now! If we don't get it, shut it down! 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 No justice, no peace! 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 Black Lives Matter! 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 We want police ID! 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 Put your hands! We want police ID! 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 No justice! No peace! 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 I'm gonna see you those you are. You might have heard it before. We who believe in freedom cannot arrest. We who believe in freedom cannot arrest until it comes. We who believe in freedom cannot arrest. This is the song that we sing at jail. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Justice, we who believe in justice cannot rest. We sing this song when we're waiting for comrades. We who believe in justice cannot rest until it comes. Justice, we who believe in justice cannot rest. We who believe in justice cannot rest until it comes. Freedom, we who believe in freedom cannot rest. Freedom, freedom, we who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Justice, we who believe in justice cannot rest. We're prepared, you guys, to sing in jail. We who believe in justice cannot rest until it comes. Freedom, we who believe in freedom cannot rest. I sang this song in the paddy wagon. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Justice, we who believe in justice cannot rest. We all say this together in drill. We who believe in justice cannot rest until it comes. Okay, let's go down. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
We got a limited amount of time. Okay.
Yellow flag, slow down. Slow down in front. Slow down in front. I said slow down in front. Slow down. Yellow flag, yellow flag. We want police ID. 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 What do we want? Transparency. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Transparency. When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. 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 No justice? Okay. It's very important. There are going to be marshals. We're going to be giving strict instructions. Keep moving. You guys keep moving. Keep moving. Okay, so we're going to catch everybody up. We're going to catch everybody up. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Transparency. Now. Transparency. Now. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives
Transparency! Now! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! What do we want? Transparency! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Transparency! When do we want it? Now! We gotta do our chants in a circle.
We're in an interesting position because we have to walk on the sidewalk and then walk on the street and walk back on the sidewalk. This is a very specific type of protest. Now, in this neighborhood, a lot of people don't know that there are very important and influential people that live in this neighborhood. The neighbors, we need all of the neighbors of the Overland Park mayor to ask him to meet our demands. We want the mayor's neighbors
And I got
to join in this protest. Because we have three very specific demands. We want police ID.
We want police ID!
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 Okay. That's two of our demands. One of our demands is that we demand to know the identity of officers who unlawfully arrested 4 people on July 4th in Overland Park. The neighbors of the Overland Park mayor, we are asking for your assistance. That's why we are protesting in your neighborhood. We're not just protesting the mayor. We are protesting all of the neighbors. All of the neighbors who are complicit in the injustice right here in Overland Park. We want police ID.
We want police ID!
We want police ID.
We want police ID!
We want police ID.
We want police ID!
We want the police ID.
We want police ID!
Mayor Gerlach's neighbors. He lives next to you. He's probably been to your house. We know that if you give him a phone call, he'll listen to you. You know him. He may have sat at your dining room table. Our demands are simple. We want an ordinance passed in Overland Park that requires officers to identify themselves to all members of the public. We want police ID.
We want police ID!
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 Mayor Gerlach, meet our demands.
Mayor Gerlach, meet our demands!
Mayor Gerlach, meet our demands.
Mayor Gerlach, meet our demands!
Mayor Gerlach, meet our demands.
Mayor Gerlach, meet our demands!
Mayor Gerlach, meet our demands.
Mayor Gerlach, meet our demands!
We want police ID.
We want police ID!
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 Now, Mayor Gerlach is probably within earshot, and we are asking him to join our protest. If you're his neighbor, you probably have his number. And because he has refused to listen to citizens in Overland Park, we have to march in front of all of you. Thank you for people that have come out on their lawns, the people whose dinner we are interrupting. Maybe you can get him on the phone and tell him we want our demands met right now. We want police ID.
We want police ID!
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 Mayor council meeting? So now we have to come to your neighborhood. We want police ID. 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 So we're going to have a very structured two-part line. So two people in each line because we're going to come right over here by the curb. We're going to mix by the million and come back on the sidewalk and come right back around. Two buddy systems, okay? Because we're not blocking ingress or egress. Plenty of people can get by, and we're going to use the sidewalk while it's safe. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor, come outside. Mayor, come outside. Mayor, come outside.
Sorry about that, guys. I was trying to snap a couple of pictures at the same time, but we're back on following.
Mayor, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor, come outside. 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 We want police ID. We want police ID. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor, come outside. We want police ID. Mayor, come outside. We want police ID. Mayor, come outside. Mayor, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor, come outside. Mayor, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor, come outside. Mayor, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor, come outside. Mayor, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor, come outside. Mayor, come outside. We want police ID.
You should get out of there.
Police ID. Mayor, come outside.
Mayor,
come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor, come outside.
Yeah, the man's house is right here. Yeah. Oh no, I'm like in there. Yeah. Yeah. So this. Yeah, because these.
So just to catch everybody up, I've just kind of been listening to get more context. This is the Overland Park mayor's house, and the protesters are essentially moving and continuing to move along the sidewalk in order to draw attention to the cause and the reason they're out here. So that's why they're continuously moving. That way they're not impeding traffic, and they're following all orders right now. So that's what you guys are seeing.
Anytime we have like an OP thing, like we're going to be at every conversation.
We want police ID. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor, come outside. Mayor, come outside. Mayor, we're here in your neighborhood. I know that you did not want to listen to us when we came and visited you and your friends at the city council meeting. So now we're coming to visit you and your neighbors.
life. No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Now we're going to take a brief break. And we're going to take a break on the sidewalk in front of these lovely houses, but we're not going to get on their grass because we know that they do a good job with their lawn. If you need water, please stop and hydrate yourself. We got water right here by the tree. Okay, it's very important. This is the discipline we talked about. We're going to only be on the sidewalks, not on anybody's lawn. We came here for Mayor Gerlach's neighbors. Maybe they can give him a call and let him know that we will be protesting until our demands are met. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. We want police ID. We want police ID. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. Mayor Gerlach, come outside. If any of the neighbors that can hear us, if you could give the mayor of Overland Park a phone call and let him know that we're out here because we came here for the entire neighborhood, so the entire neighborhood can join in this protest. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. We're going to mobilize. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Okay, so we're moving down just a little bit. Okay, we're moving down our own side. Because we want people to stay home and hear us. So they don't have to see it on the news. They can see it right here. Tighten up. Come back, tighten up. On this side. Okay, we're coming back. We're getting organized. We're getting organized. We're getting organized.
So we've been encouraged to battle out.
Sign up, guys.
We can't pick it as
point. You've made your point. I would just encourage, please. We don't want to have to arrest anybody. We just want, to not have to arrest them. All right. So, with regards to our residential picketing ordinance, we're getting really close here.
But we're here for multiple houses. We're here for every single house on this block. We specifically said we want all of the neighbors to call Mayor Gerlach and tell him to come outside.
Well,
that
sure
is specifically
anybody within
inclusive.
the 5-block area has probably heard that. And you probably got your message loud and clear. All right?
So why do we have to stop if we are not violating the law?
Well, I think picketing law,
And we understand
we have an
that.
ordinance against picketing in a neighborhood. So
I've read it.
I think that's an issue. All right, I'm telling you, you're getting real close. And unless you want me to have people begin to be arrested for it, then
But you
I don't
can't
wanna
arrest
do
them if
that.
they're not violating the law.
Well, again, I'm telling you,
Do we
that
have
we're
the-
really close on the residential.
I'm sorry, did you just say that you can arrest them without violating the law? Can you
No.
clarify
No,
that?
so how can you arrest somebody? I think
That don't make
we're
no
real
sense.
close to getting to violating
It's
that
not in-
ordinance.
it's not in the-
Okay.
But,
Just wanted to get it
we have,
clarified.
it's section 112856, I believe. 65.
That
See?
will be for the court to determine. I don't want to have to do it, so I'm just asking you to please.
Sir,
All right, thank you.
Okay.
It's not
So-
in the brochure, but
If we, you know what? As long as we move from this neighborhood
Everyone in a 5-block radius can hear us.
We do also have a house that's invited us onto their property.
Yes.
Yeah, they did invite us onto their property.
It's like
This would make me happy.
you know what?
He wants to call the police to come arrest us. We can go all stand in her yard and they can't do shit. 'Cause
Okay. Okay. Hey, you're leading us. What do you want to do? Oh yeah. So what do you want to do?
Should I not have the live stream in here?
So if we go to her yard,
Even though we have not violated any law, we have a decision to make. And I'm an educator. Even though our legal counsel, we've had 3 lawyers look at this ordinance today, residential picketing is targeting a specific residence. We have specifically said on multiple occasions that we are not here for a specific residence. And the Overland Park Police Department has informed us, even though we are not breaking any laws, it would be up to the judge at Overland Park to decide if we are ultimately guilty. And this is why we cannot trust the police. So you will have an option, because right now, we are, where's my color guard? Where's my color guard? I need my color guard right here. Right here, right now, we are switching to tactical. Wave the white flag. We have 2 options when we switch to tactical. Wave the white flag so everybody can see it. Does everyone see the white flag? That means that we are no longer in regular protest. We have been threatened with arrest. So remember our training. If you have 2 options. We have been told we are not violating the law, but we could be arrested anyway. So we will have 2 options. If you want to continue your protest, if you stay here, you could be unlawfully arrested. If you are going to stay here, the official witnesses will start taking your names and date of birth so that we can start preparing bonds. Say his name.
Darrien!
What? When I say his name, I'm talking about a lawyer. Say his name.
Jordan Bear.
Say his name.
Jordan Bear.
Okay. So now that we're in tactical, we're going to take about 2 minutes. We're going to take 2 minutes and we're going to separate groups. Okay? So we're going to continue a march. We're going to continue either the march.
I'm gonna stay and record as press. I don't know if I need to register. Just in case I need to be represented later.
And risk unlawful arrest.
I'm just,
And this is a great example why this system does not work.
I need
That
mine
is
put
a
down.
great example.
I'm not
why
taking
we
any list
cannot
for
reform
protesters.
it.
I'm just official
Because
witness.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Do you know who's organizing in case someone gets arrested, get put in contact with the law?
Even though you're not violating the law, even though licensed attorneys have analyzed the law, have said that it's very clear and plain language. You are picketing if you are targeting a single resident. And we've been talking to all of the mayor's neighbors. They are still saying what we're doing to get us arrested. This is a revolutionizing and radicalizing moment. This is what we talk about when we're talking about the injustice of the police system. Because the police system will tell you that even though you are doing nothing wrong, you can be locked up like an animal. You can be chained like a criminal. They will treat you like a criminal, so you have not violated the law. And so you remember tonight, whether you stay here, whether you leave, you remember what happened here tonight. So when we come back to Overland Park, when we come back to this neighborhood, you need to tell your friends what happened to you. You need to explain the injustice that happened to you tonight. It didn't happen to Darrien tonight. He was not here. It didn't happen to George Floyd tonight. He's already dead. It didn't happen to any of your friends that were not here. It happened to you. So we're going to take a few minutes to regroup. and everyone will have to make their own decisions. So we're going to take 2 minutes, and we're going to allow the people that want to march back, we will have security with you, and we will have additional official witnesses that are going to be with the people here that may be unlawfully arrested tonight in Overland Park.
Okay, let's go. Where's leadership? Come on. Okay, so what's our evaluation?
Okay, guys, just to catch you up and add a little bit of context to what's happening again. They actually had an officer come up and warn arrest, but I actually have it previously on record. Even though he was threatening arrest, he actually didn't specify exactly why they would be arrested. So right now they're deciding on who to stay behind and who to go home. So I'm going to stay behind and actually follow the group, of course, and I'll continue streaming until later into the evening. So I'm just going to put this camera down and cut until, and just kind of let it roll until other things start happening and they decide. But stay tuned.
I was just eavesdropping. Can you tell me what happened for my notes? I'm not trying to interview.
No, it's fine. No, it's cool. I'm going to put this down and go help you here. Okay. So what do you need now?
Just for my notes, I missed what happened.
The police officer came up to talk to Stacy.
The one in his red car? Okay.
And he threatened that they're really close to breaking a picketing ordinance in the residential area, which I don't know the details, but it doesn't sound right. And I actually even asked the officer, so you just told the protesters there, and I asked him without knowing why or without an actual reason. And he said, yeah, on record, which was interesting.
Okay.
And then at that point, Stacy kind of realized that things were getting a little serious, so they're going to implement their ideas and split the group, and people who want to go home and people who want to stay behind.
Okay.
And that's kind of pretty much it.
Okay.
So,
thank you.
Yep.
I'll have to ask about the picketing thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'll watch the live feed from the party.
yeah, that would be cool. So again, guys, I'm getting some of my other gear out because it's getting dark, so I'm going to try to get a video light out. But while I do that, I have the camera set down. And like I said, the group is getting ready to split up, and some will continue the protest, and I will be sticking with them to provide coverage, continuing. Okay, guys. Sorry about the downtime, but like I said, they're preparing, so I'm just kind of getting ready myself.
So we're going to have our official witness. We're going to move at kind of a quick clip. Not super quick, but we're going to
Yeah, is that the group that's heading back? Okay, thank you. So again, a lot of the protesters are getting help getting back to their vehicles. I'm going to sit back with the group that's going to continue the protest. So I'm going to join them. No, what's happening right now is half of Stacy's leading the people who want to go to safety.
Got it.
And those people have given the protesters safe zone,
Okay.
so they're allowing them on their property. So they're organizing the next step.
Okay.
I don't know what's going to happen. No problem. You're welcome. The officer that's down here is communicating with what I'm assuming is the rest of his team, trying to coordinate their next response.
What type of accountability is that? None! We went in there on Monday to demand answers and to have a conversation with Mayor Durlock and the city council members. What did we get? Nothing. Nothing. What do we want? Justice. We want transparency. Because the things that are happening in the Overland Park Police Department is not right. The things that are happening are unjust. And we cannot stand for it. Somebody has to stand out for it. Somebody has to stand out for it. Or the things that occurred on Friday, July 24th, it will continue to happen. What just occurred down the street with the Overland Park police officer down there, it'll continue to happen. If we don't demand transparency in this department, if we don't take the power as the people, if we don't realize the power that we have, we will continue to fall short. So I encourage you all to know your role in this movement, know why you're here, and continue to fight and stand for what is right. Now! What do we want?
Transparency!
When do we want it?
Now!
They really only gave me this because I was being loud, but I have an issue with what happened on Monday. Oh, yeah. I have an issue with what happened on Monday. I have an issue with what happened on July 24th. I have an issue that it's been a month later and I still don't know who did it. Darrien's story isn't unique. You can work your whole entire life as a black man doing everything right and still be guilty. That ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
You can be a loving husband and still get treated like an animal. And that ain't right.
That ain't right.
And even if he did something, he still deserves the proper procedure. He still deserves right to a fair trial. He still deserves to be treated like every single last one of us.
That's right.
Like a decent citizen. Yes. Like a decent citizen. And I'm outraged at Overland Park Police Department, not only over Darrien, not only over John Albers, but the fact that it keeps happening again and again and again. Say it. That ain't right. That ain't right. That ain't right.
That ain't right.
So let me tell you something about civil disobedience. Civil disobedience is what radicalized a lot of people in the movement. When we are civil and the cameras catch them acting up, there's eyes on those cameras being radicalized. When they go and handcuff 15-year-olds and 6-year-olds
people. So what you are doing right now is going to radicalize people.
Yeah.
Yep. Even if you didn't get arrested tonight, even if we went home and we still got to say hi, say goodnight to our parents, say goodnight to our significant others, you would still be a part of that radicalization because you decided enough was enough. You decided that for yourself. Your friend might have left, but you decided. So thanks for joining the revolution. Anybody else? You got the march again? Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
I just want to say, I am the mother whose children Darrien protected, and although I didn't know him from, another person walking on the street, I had seen him at a few protests, but he stood there and protected my children while police were swarming us and attacking us. And so any man that would do that is good in my book. And as the wife of a black man, and I've been married for over 12 years, mother of 6, you can see obviously why I'm out here for my kids. They shouldn't have to live in a world like this. They shouldn't have to be told that we can't stand in the street when we just saw little boys riding their bikes in the street. We shouldn't be told that we're not welcome in a certain place. Everybody should feel welcome. And I get emotional every time I think about that night because my children were in danger, and not by any of the protesters. They were in danger in front of the police. And even though it was only 2 out of my 6 kids, the rage and the radicalization that built up in me at that very moment, I was like, I'm done. We're done. Playing the games with the police. Period. We're done. We're going to stand up for our children. Yep. And we're going to make sure that they don't have to deal with this anymore, because I'm tired of seeing them on the news. I'm tired. Period. Yes. I want to say something. Sorry. Go ahead. Ooh. Hey, so this is mostly geared towards the people who are watching on live. Darrien is an amazing man. We've heard that all day. But I just want to say that it wouldn't matter if he was 6'6" and was the biggest, scariest black man you've ever seen in your life, who worked at a gas station, who didn't graduate high school, who didn't graduate college. He didn't deserve what happened to him, and no one does. So there's a lot of respectability that's played where we think that certain people deserve certain things and then other people don't. No one deserves to be brutalized by the police. We're here for Black lives specifically, but it would hurt my heart had that happened to anyone, because we're still people at the end of the day. So when we kind of propagandize this stuff, we need to make sure that we know that it doesn't matter what you look like, it doesn't matter if you're viewed as threatening, that you don't deserve to be brutalized by anyone in any instance. So. There you go.
Does anyone can blow smoke from me? Thank you.
Do you have your own lighter?
I do.
Okay.
I only smoke at protests, but I always come prepared. I used to smoke for 10 years, so I quit, but...
It's stressful times.
It is, but honestly, like...
It's kind of about the...
What else am I doing, right? I can stay at home and do
I
nothing.
like the image of like spit shining my rifle, smoking a cigar.
Hopefully the office only with
I hope so. So that's just the image in my head, I guess.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Some nights it's stressful, and honestly the best ones were, obviously the ones where everyone goes to go home. And
that's nice when I'm in my bed by like midnight, and I'm like tired, but I'm sure that like nothing horrible.
That's what I'm hoping tonight.
Yeah.
We'll see. I work at 7. Maybe 8 a.m. for me, so we'll see. I'm gonna push through though, no matter what. Like, honestly, even if I miss work, I'm here for it.
Oh yeah, I've told all my bosses when they're having those like this, so like, I get arrested sometimes, so I might just not be able to call you off.
I'm looking for an excuse to focus more on journalism, so
Yeah.
the best my boss could do is fire me.
Yeah. Right on.
A nonprofit. It's really
As a governing body, they can vote to do whatever. They can vote to suspend every single rule that they have as a city, as long as it doesn't like go over any state laws or anything, or federal laws, and they can do whatever, which includes adding a public comment meeting or public comment.
So again, while there's a chance for quiet now, I'm going to fill you guys in again on what's happening here on the ground. We're waiting for the rest of the protesters that want to join to come back from taking the ones who wanted to go home to safety. The protesters are kind of gathering and just waiting. And like I said, I'm going to follow them to give you guys coverage for the rest of the evening. If the feed interrupts, I will resume it right away. If not, I'll switch to my secondary camera and have backups posted very shortly after the stream is done. So you guys stay tuned.
We're just gonna do a couple of chants real quick. What do we want? When do we want it? Now. What do we want? When do we want it? Now. If we don't get it, shut it down. 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 I just had a few quick words that I wanted to say. Because I've been thinking a lot recently. I was at Darrien's jail support. And I think a lot about the sacrifice that it takes to be out here on these streets. And what we've seen this summer. And the awakening and consciousness that we have seen this summer.
I'm getting some comments in the feed. I will actually address those later in the comments after the feed's uploaded. But I'll address it shortly.
Is a real microcosm. Darrien is a freedom fighter. I need y'all to say, Darrien is a freedom fighter. 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 Say, I am a freedom fighter. 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 It's important that we really put our actions and our words into action. And so when we say that Darrien was a freedom fighter and is a freedom fighter, and when we say that we are freedom fighters, we have to understand the weight of our words. It means we have to be willing to make a sacrifice. And so I think it's really dope when I look out and see all these people out here right now. I think it's really dope to see all these people. We had a decision, we could go back, but y'all are still here right now. And that says a lot. That says a lot about the sacrifice that you're willing to make. And I actually hope that the police come out here tonight, because I'm not afraid of the police. I'm not afraid of the police. Are y'all afraid of the police? No! Are y'all afraid of the police? No! If they come out here, all we're going to do is make sure we pay attention to the directions that are given. And we're going to move like a unit. You saw Stacy, she's like a military general right now. I'm serious. I'm very serious. It's important. It's important that we move as a unit, that we pay attention to the directions that are given, because that's the only way that the police can ever get us. If you've been to the protests at the plaza, if you've been to any of the protests, the only time the police get people is when they come out by themselves. And so the last thing I want to say is that this is a battle for the soul of the country, for the soul of the city. We're trying to defeat white supremacy and all its permeations and tentacles, which we see as the police department. We want to abolish the police. I'm going to say that one more time, so I don't think everybody heard me. We want to abolish the police. Not just defund. Not just defund. We want to abolish the police. And so, a lot of people have questions. I'm just going to give some ideology real quick, because a lot of people have questions. They have questions. They say, if we abolish the police, what does that mean? What are we going to do if we abolish the police? How are we going to solve conflicts? Who are you going to call if your house gets robbed? If you get punched in the face? And so we talk about transformative justice. We talk about transformative justice a lot. And that means that we have to find other ways of solving problems that are racist, violent institution that we call policing. And that's what happened to Darrien. And that's what we're fighting for today, is not only for Darrien, but Darrien represents and symbolizes something much bigger than himself. And so I just hope that y'all understand that Darrien represents it as a symbol for something much bigger. He was an embodiment of the revolution, an embodiment of the resistance. And that's what everyone out here is tonight. Everyone is a part of this resistance. And like many of the speakers have said today, this is a revolutionary moment that we're living in. This is a historical moment that's going to go down in the history books. We're writing history as we speak. And I just want y'all to understand the weight of this moment, because we are the ancestors of tomorrow. Our kids are going to look back and say, what did we do? What were you doing? What did I do? And I just hope that y'all are willing to make that sacrifice. John Lewis, who recently died, got arrested 42 times in his life. 42 times. He put his body on the line. His head got bashed in. He got sprayed with fire hoses. Dogs biting him. He put his body on the line. He was not afraid to die. He suffered a concussion. He was hit in the head with a baton. Went to the hospital. Then went to jail. And the next day was back on the street again. That's the type of revolutionary fervor, passion, fearlessness.
Good trouble?
Good trouble. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need. That's what the people need. That's the only way that this revolution is going to be successful. Dr. Cornel West, I speak a lot about Dr. Cornel West. And he says you need people who are not only willing to live for the movement, but to die for it. That's the only way you can have a revolutionary movement. Now, everybody's not going to be willing to, really go that far. That's cool, but we need people. Otherwise, all you have is a hashtag moment. You have a black box on Instagram. And so we got to do a lot more than just talk, but clearly y'all know that. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's out here. Keep doing what y'all doing, because, I really appreciate Miller Dream and all the work that they've been doing. And we, as a city, really need this type of work to be done. And so I just want to show my appreciation once again for the black women who are leading this. Because if you actually notice, there's not that many cis black men out here tonight. There's not that many cis black men out here tonight. We know that the revolution is always led by black women. So I just think it's important that we highlight that. Today, I know I said this a couple times, but the very last thing I want to say is just about transformative justice. I think transformative justice is really important because a lot of organizations, including my own organization, Black Rainbow, a lot of organizations are going to go through ups and downs. They're going to have conflicts. But we can't put the vision for the world that we want to see into the world if we can't even handle it inside of our own organization. And so we have to really embody what it is we want to see in the world. So this is not just a moment. A lot of organizations are going to persist, and I'm excited to see what the people do. So when I say I say, I need you to say power. I say! I say! I say! I say! I say! I say! Appreciate y'all. Apparently they want to make a distinction. They want to call the police the pigs. So when I say fuck, I need y'all to say pigs. Fuck. Pigs. Fuck. Pigs. We're going to keep it just a little PG because we're in a neighborhood. Oh yeah, there's some kids too, so.
One of them has
our apologies. But I mean, we do want to make it very clear. That's what she just came up to tell me. She said, it's important that we make this distinction that the police cannot be reformed. The police has been an institution that existed since the 1880s. I don't know if people know the history of the police department and the police system and the system of policing. It originated in Europe and it was transferred to the United States in the 1880s. Its purpose was never to rehabilitate people. Its purpose was never to keep poor people, black people, brown people safe. When the policing institution was created, there was no spike in violence in the United States. What they wanted was to protect their property from the free slaves. And that's exactly what we see today. We see property being protected. We see police being protected. But when Darrien is assaulted, we don't get any justice. We don't get any justice when a black man is assaulted. And they still won't bring charges to the police officers. They won't even tell us who did it. And so that makes you have to look at who are the police really protecting. Because I know for a fact it's not you and it's not me. That's all I want to say. We have to make a distinction, man. I appreciate it. Shout out to my man XT from Black Rainbow. He's not here. Shout out to X. He was given a speech called The Ballad of the Bullet. The Ballad of the Bullet. Because this is the year of the Ballad of the Bullet. This is the year of the Ballad of the Bullet. And a lot of people say, some people are going to not vote out of a resistance. I'm going to vote personally. I think everybody should vote. But we also have to understand that voting isn't the only way we can express our political power. What we're doing right now is just as important as voting. It's just as important as voting. So I advocate for voting. I hope everybody votes. But we also can't be pigeonholed into thinking that that's the only way we can express our political power. What we're doing right now is extremely important, so don't let anybody tell you differently. Appreciate it.
Hello, I'm KJ with Black Rainbow. So yeah, I think this is a great moment for political education on transformative justice. Because a lot of people, including myself, up until like a few weeks ago, I didn't know that it existed. So without training anyone, obviously, transformative justice is essentially a justice model where we seek to rehabilitate people back into society. So say that you are robbing houses because you need basic necessities, just because we all know that crime happens out of need and proximity. So when people say black on black crime, we all know that's not real because people don't commit crimes against other black people just because they're like, oh, you're black, I'm just going to rob you because you're black. That makes it invalid. They rob the people who are nearest to them. They can't come out to Overland Park and, I'm not threatening anyone, but, it's not feasible for people of color to come out here and take them. So they take what they need the most from those who are closest to them. So the transformative justice model seeks to rehabilitate these people and, integrate them back into society and forgive. Our country has always had a pitchfork and blame mentality when it comes to people who are deemed criminals or guilty of crime. There's no real justice. There's no real justice for anyone at the end of the day. Someone's sitting in a cell thinking about robbing a bank for 60 years. That's not justice. What do you gain from that? You don't get anything from that. And nothing happens from that. So transformative justice seeks to treat people like people. Because we are all people at the end of the day. Again, we're out here for Black lives, but I just think about people. Like, I love black people. I love being black. And I'm not a coon. I'm not trying to start that rhetoric. But we're all people. We all have to go back to our bed. So one thing that I would encourage everyone to do is really learn and study the transformative justice model. I grew up in Savannah, Georgia, which is similar in demographics to Kansas City, as far as the population and everything. And to me, it was up until a few weeks ago, there was no justice. It was you're on one side of the fence and I'm on another, and we're going to rock it out on both sides. And it was no real ever anyone coming together and trying to figure out, why are 14-year-old men shooting each other? Why are 14-year-old boys shooting each other? I've lost lots of classmates. I lost a classmate earlier this year in May, just on a random Tuesday. It was just ridiculous. So transformative justice seeks to mediate and also rehabilitate, because we have a lot of hurt people. And even now, we're out here, we're traumatizing ourselves even more, in the good name of justice, but we're constantly subjecting ourselves to trauma. So it's important for us to, take a moment, our white allies a lot, or accomplices. Y'all put yourselves on the line a lot.
And we appreciate it and we honor that, you know, and we do even more, but, you know, we see what y'all are doing. So it's important for us to take care of ourselves as people.
Is it 4?
It was for just at Black Rainbow, we kind of have like a self-care week.
Okay, guys, sorry, I was just talking to some other people here, you know, journalists from other outlets. But if this, like I said, I'm checking in on the stream, so if it ends, I'll restart it.
We're on the right side of history, and you know, 60 years from now, we're going to be in the history books the same way that Rosa Parks and Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. and everyone else, because we're right. We're right. It's not about who's in the history books. It's about who was in those stories, who came out in March. You know, September 4th, there will be a march on KC at 3 o'clock, and it's on Facebook. It's sponsored by the NAACP, SCLC, Overland, Black Rainbow, and a slew of other organizations. And we're encouraging everyone to come out and support that, you know. But it's sad that the same march happened 60 years ago. Like, when you just do the math, like John Lewis, he was 19 when he first got arrested. I am 19 now, and he was still fighting for the same thing when he just passed away. So we really gotta get focused. Like, we really gotta, you know, look at things holistically. Because this is a movement. This is not a moment. Everyone loves the Black box. Everyone loves hashtag Black Lives Matter. And then where are they at now? You know, it was thousands of people at the plaza. Thousands. I've never seen that many people in my life in one place, in the middle of a global pandemic, and they were willing to come out and smile in front of smashed buildings and hashtag things and post it on their TikTok. And where are they at now when we truly need people? When you're being harassed by a cop in a car who's hell-bent on arresting people for peacefully protesting. Where are they at? So history will tell who was true and who was a fluke. It's really that serious. So I thank y'all all for being out here. Because I would rather be watching me some pose on Netflix and eating me some popcorn. But you know, when we live in an unjust world, these are the sacrifices we must make. So thank y'all.
Put that in.
Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
I need everybody paying attention. Okay, minus people walking around. See me walking around. If you didn't get a group number, please come to me now. If you did not get a group number, please come to me now. If you, yeah, come to me now.
If you need me to get your bill information, come over here.
Bail information here.
As far as people engaging and trying to have chat conversations right now, I don't usually reply during live streams. I provide context afterwards, but that's about as much as I usually do for interaction. You can contact me on a message if you have questions or at the ima.us page.
I'm going to email an encrypted email address. And what that's going to do is it's going to be encrypted, so no one's going to know your information. So we'll take that, take your name, your date of birth, and some emergency contact, and write it on a piece of paper with everything.
Let's make sure we stay out the street. Sure.
You might, I don't know if it's every time. Oh, okay. Just your name, date of birth, and
So this should be one of those new phones with night vision.
Who else did not
Part of the protest group.
That is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so it looks like Stacy Shaw has actually just returned. I don't know. Last time I saw him, he was just kind of in the area, but
Like, is his car still there? Because
I can't tell.
Okay, there's nobody else that needs a group. Everybody knows their group number. If you don't have a group number, okay, cool.
I've heard.
because we're modeling. This is important. Eyes, right here. Eyes. This is important. Because so many people think that they only can resist by marching in the street. Okay? These neighbors took a risk by allowing us on their property. Okay? Someone told me, I told you all I was at a happy hour, or I was talking to some people. I was at a happy hour yesterday. And this message I just saved for you all. Okay? They said, Stacey, we hear you say that you're willing to risk it all. But why would you have to? And I told them, because I was radicalized when I saw a young man who did nothing but yell at a police officer be maced in his face until he fell down. The officer kept macing him even as his friends were dragging him away. And I ran in front of the officer and blocked the mace with my body. And that was the first time that I saw police brutality in person. And then they said, well, you know what? You still could have just been a lawyer. And I said, well, here is the problem with that. I woke up one day and I realized that I was born into an oppressed race. And the black women said, no, oppression is just in your mind. That you can set up things where you don't personally have to be oppressed. And I said, you're right, because for 10 years, I did not go to court. Platte County is very racist. I would send my white associates out there. The only people that I interacted with as a lawyer were either my equals or my subordinates. And so I never had to endure the racism that comes with corporate America. I lived in black communities or in liberal white communities. Me and my neighbors love each other. People respect my privilege as a lawyer. I'm able to afford lawyers. And so I have a lot of insulation from the regular, everyday person's oppression. And it's not just because somebody is black, because I have white lawyers that have been victimized by the police. And so I said, no, it's not enough. Because when I got arrested, those police, even though they saw me marching protesters back to the sidewalk, I have been a mediator. I have been a peacekeeper for 2 nights. I was working with officers because they had not brought any mediators. They had not brought any de-escalation specialists to any of the protests, so I was doing their job for them. Even though I had the privilege, the socioeconomic privilege, even though I had the privilege of being a lawyer, even though I had the privilege of only working with people and working for people that I liked, they treated me like a common nigga. That ain't right.
Right.
And the reason why I'm saying this, I'm not saying this to the entire group. I'm saying it to the people that put it on the line and risked something tonight. And there's nothing wrong if you're not in the position to risk something. But what are you going to risk? And they said, you know what, Stacey? When you say that you're radical and this radicalized you, that sounds like you're saying reckless. And what I didn't tell them were that there were people that didn't grow old because they were in the civil rights movement. There were people that got arrested tens of times, over 100 times. They got their heads beat in. They got disbarred. They put it all on the line because they knew that what they were doing was more important than whatever they were risking. And I can't just say, I can't stand in front of you that are having the same risk that I am, that are risking losing their jobs, losing their house, losing their cars, losing their money, losing their liberty, going to jail for years, possibly getting hit in the head with a rubber bullet because an officer is on a power trip. That's what we're all out here risking. And so when I asked the women, I said, well, you know what? This is something that I'm willing to risk it all for. My power doesn't come from being a lawyer. I haven't used my law license one time in this movement. I haven't been to court. I just go to jail actions and they don't let me see my clients anyway, so it doesn't even matter. And I said, what are you willing to put it all on the line for? Will you put it all on the line for your kids? Well, I don't know if I could get arrested. I might have to chill that out. Well, would you put it all on the line for God? Oh, I don't know if I can. Oh, I don't know. I go to church on Sunday and I tithe. We are a very small minority in America because most people won't risk their comfort. They won't risk anything big. They might give a couple of dollars. They might like something. They might share a post on Facebook, but they're not the same as us. We are not the same as those people. Because when we say that something's important to us, we show up. And even when the police are saying that they're going to arrest us, that they're going to put us in a cage, that we may die in that cage, we may be abused in that cage, we may lose our jobs because we're in that cage, we're saying that we are going to show you better than we can tell you.
There you go.
Right. That is the difference between us and them.
There you go.
And there's going to come a time, the time has already come, but there's going to come a time, we're training you for a reason. Because there's going to come a time when we have to put it on the line. When we have to say, you know what, Mayor Gerlach, you're not listening to us. We went to your city council meeting. We asked to speak and you denied us. Then we had to go to your neighborhood and you still didn't listen. Now we have to go sit on your desk. And we ain't leaving. Until they carry our 182 pounds out. And so today you prove something to yourselves. You prove something to yourselves. Every time you show up, you are proving your commitment to yourselves. You don't owe it to anybody else to prove your commitment. You don't owe it to me to prove your commitment. This is the commitment that you made to yourself. This is the commitment that you said that you were taking when you said you were not going to be oppressed. You were not going to allow your family, your friends, your community to be oppressed. Not one damn second longer.
Right.
And this is what that looks like. Right here, right now, right here, right now. It looks like that with parents taking a risk with their kids sitting on the lawn. They didn't know what people were going to do. They didn't know what repercussions were going to happen. They didn't know if the mayor of their city was going to target them because they took a risk. That, right now, they didn't ask permission from us. They didn't have to wait until an organization said, oh, it's okay for you to risk this. It's okay for you to be an ally. It's okay for you to say Black Lives Matter. They said, no, I saw something and I'm going to do something about it. I don't have to wait for anybody to tell me that this is what I need to do. And so we're going to be saying, I told you all about political education. Because in our revolutionary minds, in our radicalized minds, we can be radical but uneducated. And in our ignorance, we may build the same thing that we are fighting to dismantle.
One more time.
And so it is so important, and this is important, that in our ignorance, as allies, with our access to power, to money, to resources, in our ignorance, we may build the very thing we have been fighting to dismantle.
Right.
And so when people say we need you to read this book, we need you to be educated, we need you to read White Fragility, we need you to do this training, we need you to understand what you're really fighting for, because we don't want you to weaponize your privilege and end up building a stronger white supremacy system. And so that is going to be the challenge. Tomorrow, we are going to meet at 75th and Warnell in Waldo. This is a unique opportunity because that's something that we've never done before. Okay, we're searching for places that we've never been so that we can grow our numbers. This is a big number of people that are willing to go to jail in Johnson County. Okay, this is huge, all right? So we need people at 75th and Warnell because when you all show up, you give other people courage. So when you show up, it shows them that something is possible. It shows them that they can be revolutionaries, that they have the ability to change the world, that they have the ability to be activists. But if you don't show up, if they don't see your face, they won't know what's possible. So we need everybody to be there, 75th and Warnell, 5:30. 5:30 and bring a friend, okay? Who can be there at 75th and Warnell tomorrow at 5:30? Who can be there? Who can commit to that? Who can commit to that? Who can commit to that? Who can be there? Who can be there? Who can show up? Now keep your hands up, keep your hands up. If you can commit to bringing a friend, who can put somebody in their car? Oh, you coming today? Oh, everybody's putting somebody in their car. Okay, that's good. All right. And so, okay. And so we have, thank you whoever has these full waters, because that's the blessing. Okay. And so hold on, do we have an evac plan? Because we have,
Sorry.
No, it's cool.
Clear back here?
Again, just to provide a little extra context, that resident right there supported the protesters by offering their lawn in case they started to be harassed from the police officers. That's why they were cheering and clapping for that gentleman.
We have groups, and they're going to evacuate people in groups. Okay. Yeah. Well, that one probably. We're not. I know, but okay. So no chance. And so here's another piece of our protest. Eyes. Okay, this is the discipline. We are not going to chant because we have already completed our protest. And we want to be able to go to the wall of the month. Okay, so we're only going to go. We're going to have a silent protest back to the park. All on sidewalks, no one on streets, and we're going to be moving quickly. Not running, but we're going to be moving very quickly. Very quickly. Okay, so we're going to get in twos. Let's get in twos on the sidewalk. We're going to be there tomorrow.
Make sure you take all your trash with you.
Take all the trash, no litter, no litter.
Get the trash,
Get trash, no trash, no trash.
Thank you, neighbor.
Yeah, hey, thank you very much.
I knew we'd meet up eventually. I was snapping your picture. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
No, we got all.
So the protesters are starting to move into a march again.
Yeah, that's okay.
Because you know they come back hours later and try to arrest me. It's very important.
This is actually the most dangerous part of the action because we're going at night. No, we need our legal observers, our witnesses. Okay, we need witnesses, and then we need people going live right now.
All right, guys. So it looks like again they are heading back to the starting area of the protest.
My mom said, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, no. Whatever. I would definitely be unfulfilled. Yes, I am too, so you gotta watch the back. Anyway, what about you though? This is my, probably my servant school. We cover, we can really yeah, oh, you did? Tell me about that. The founder.
So again, guys, everything is still quiet for right now. The protesters are heading back towards the beginning area of the march. So we're still in this residential neighborhood area.
Watch your step,
guys. Watch your
Okay.
step. Thank you.
Watch your step,
So what are the logistics behind campus ledger? Like, do you publish prints? Do you do online only? What's your pacing? Yeah, we do both online and print. I'm like, oh yeah. I've always been sure. Always.
I've been here for like a week.
So usually in my streams, I just want to kind of touch up for people who have not seen them before. I tend to kind of stay live and follow until everybody's safe in their area and dispersing. So right now, again, the group is just walking back to the protest staging area.
I know. I was like, that's incorrect. That is not correct.
Yeah, this is just what we
Hey Heather, can you double check that my thing shared to my Facebook page?
No, I'm not going to. I'm with that. Watch your step. Watch your step. Step.
No, we're protesting Overland Park Mayor Carl Gerlach right now. Yeah, Quentin Lucas is the mayor of Kansas City, Missouri, and we are right now in Overland Park, Kansas, which is a suburb of Kansas City, where we go protest. It's kind of like Aurora, Colorado to Denver, Colorado. It's like very similar to that situation.
Can you hear us? Overland Park.
And funny story is, Kansas City isn't even in Kansas. Well, I mean, there is a Kansas City, Kansas, but that's not the right. Well, it's not the correct Kansas City, Kansas. It's Kansas City. It's not the correct Kansas City. Period. Because there's a Kansas City, Kansas, and a Kansas City, Missouri. And Kansas City, Missouri is where everything happens. But Kansas City, Kansas. I just got much trash full. It's just an industrial area. Yeah, you can literally be on state line and have one foot in Kansas and one foot in Missouri. That'd be pretty cool. I can have one off in Kansas and get both by We're in Overland Park right now, which is south of Kansas City, Kansas, and west of Kansas City, Missouri. Yeah, so you can get arrested. You can get arrested in 2 states at once. Have you motioned down state line and cops from safety and all that, or put a handcuff on you? Put my body in there.
Oh yeah,
We actually have protested down state line before. We actually just did that a couple weeks ago. Well, that's real smart, actually. They say, go protest down state line. If the campus is not, and you know they can't cross the state line. Oh, the feds can get under it. Yeah, because we're one of those cities where the feds are occupying right now. It kind of depends on which cops arrest you. Oh yeah, that's right. There were Olathe cops at the plaza protest. It's kind of like all the same thing.
They share jurisdiction in the Kansas City metro area.
Yeah, it's a big blob.
Mm-hmm.
And like all the cities have like deals with each other.
There's actually one local. Yeah.
This is the most polite, well-behaved protest I've ever seen on Twitch. In Portland, they scream "Wake up" at 2 a.m. in residential neighborhoods.
Yeah, we tried that and they came at us and rioted.
Yeah, we tried that and they started pepper spraying us. And
arrested everybody. They don't like that.
So again, all the protesters are heading back right now on the sidewalk. I think we're about halfway back to the main area, or the beginning of the protest march.
I was like, I'll go knock on
The only police interaction that the protesters had earlier today was with that one officer that is on my stream earlier. After a while, when the protesters were organizing in the yard of the neighbor that helped them, the police officer disappeared, but I'm sure they're still watching the area because they usually tend to until everyone goes home.
Sorry, I get up all my emotions when someone brings up no bar. To be fair, yes. He does look like a reanimated sack of shit. You know we're living in a police state when the Attorney General looks like a reanimated sack of shit.
Ew.
Hey, hi to Bill Barr. Trump's pinky puppet. Girl, no justice, no street. Did that someone said girl hat. I think the people on Twitch need to remember that I don't
So we've made it back to the starting area, and from the last protest that the protest that I attended, where Darrien was arrested, was very, very different than this one. You guys can see the recap video from that night, where the police response was something like 30 to 40 cars for a group smaller than this. That was just as peaceful, if I remember. Well, I mean, from what I witnessed that night. So there you guys go. I'm going to stick around for a little bit longer and make sure that everyone disperses right, but I think that the event is pretty much over for tonight. But I'll give a chance to listen to some speakers.
I didn't birth all of them. I did adopt some of them, but I had.
Okay, I just want to say power to the beach first off.
Ashe! 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 That's all.
I want you to understand that word power, and that's what you guys had on tonight. You are the people. You are the people with the power, and no one can take that power away from you. So I want you guys to continue to be dedicated and committed to this movement. If you're in, I want you to be all in. If you're dedicated, I want you to be fully dedicated. I want you to continue to support. Where are we tomorrow?
Waldo.
75th and Waldo. Warno, I'm sorry. It's the Waldo Resistance. And I think that you all, I mean, we've had enough speeches, but you all seen the things that take place in Overland Park, and it's nothing new to us. We've been hit July 24th, not only July 24th, we've been hit so many times in Overland Park, and it's just time to tear the system down, to bring the injustices, awareness to the injustices. Overland Park, we're not gonna stand for it. We're not going to continue to stand for it. And I said this in a live feed, we've been asking for conversations for far too many years, for us to continue to be in the exact same position that we have been for many, many years. And it's time for change. Yes. And I just want Overland Park Police Department, Mayor Gerlach, Kansas Governor, all the elected officials, your time is about up. Yeah. Your time is about up. And I want you to know that you can't stop the revolution.
You can't stop the revolution.
And just a reminder, the Miller Dream hosted this event on tonight, so if you don't mind to continue to get information, follow the Miller Dream LLC on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We also have Black Rose here. I'm sorry, I mix the two up all the time.
Girl, you better be.
I mean, it just sounds so good. We have Black Rainbow. Black Rainbow here with us on tonight. Phenomenal job. Awesome messages, powerful messages. Continue to follow them. Also, we have White Rose. Follow them on social media. All the information that you need to know in regards to what's happening in the movement, where we'll be, where you can help. You can follow any of these pages. Of course, Stacey Shaw. Look for us. And KCProtest.org. KCProtest.com. So check out the website for other information. Again, appreciate you guys for coming out, sticking it out with us, understanding what this movement is about, what this rally was about, understanding our demands, understanding your role in it. Thank you. That's all we have for tonight. Thank you.
It did. I am COVID free. Okay, so this is our last drill. Okay? This is our last drill, our last thing that I'm going to teach you guys. Okay, last thing I'm going to teach you guys, and this is important. We are going to disperse in a time limit. We didn't do it that well last week, so, okay. Here's what we're going to do. Everybody already has groups of how many? At least 3? Everybody has groups of 3 that they're going to their car with. Okay, we are going to have a timed, safe, controlled, but speedy dispersal. Okay, we're training because in case we have to evacuate, we may only have so many minutes to evacuate. And we are only going to perform to the most basic of our training. So it's so important that we practice evacuating quickly.
do not get hit by a car. Okay? Does everybody have groups of 3? Okay, I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds to get to your groups of 3. 30 seconds.
Alright guys, as you can see, the protest event here is winding down in Overland Park. This was a protest rally and march called Justice for Darrien. He was one of the people arrested by the Overland Park PD in July under some suspicious circumstances that have been covered by other media outlets if you guys want to do the research. So with that, I'm going to let you go. This was Andre for the IMA, and I'm sure I'll see you next time.
Okay, time has started. 5 minutes to disperse.